many girls do you think will miss out on yet another summer adventure because they're waiting for someone to go with? So you badly want to go on an adventure this summer, but you won't because you feel you have to have someone to go with? This is called relying on someone else for your happiness, and it's a big no-no in the world of confidence. I missed out on so much when I was younger, constantly waiting for someone to go do things with. Don't be like me. I want to encourage you to start stepping out on your own and stop waiting on others. Hey, it's Marty, your confidence coach, and I'm back with another video to empower you to live a more fulfilled life. You can start by not waiting on other people, not for a trip, not for anything. Remember, I'm on a mission to reach 1,000 young women this year, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and share with a young lady who needs to hear this. It's officially almost summer. Here in the US, June 21st is the official start of the summer season, and there's no shortage of adventures that can be found just about anywhere. Whether it's a solo day trip or a 10+ hour flight to another country. As some of you know, I've been single for a really long time, and I've had to learn to get out and do things on my own without waiting on anyone. Waiting on someone to do things with is the worst thing you can do to yourself. You miss out on so much, and then you live with regret of, I shouldn't have waited, or I missed out on so much and I should have done this sooner. In order to avoid doing that to yourself and spending the summer stuck at home, especially if you're single or simply don't have any buddies to hang out with, you'll need to engage in some solo activities, preferably a trip. I love solo trips that get me so far away I can experience something different. If you are able to take this type of trip, I highly recommend it. I literally spent my 20s waiting on friends and boyfriends to do things with, and when I finally started exploring on my own, I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? You get to learn about new cultures, history, people, foods, just so many things. I genuinely believe that experiencing different cultures is necessary to appreciate the world that we live in. So don't be afraid and don't be like me and waste away your 20s waiting to have someone to go with. So ladies, here are a few tips to get you on your first solo trip this summer and to do it as safe as possible. And you don't have to be single to do this either, okay? I think everyone should experience a solo trip at least once in their life. I say that because you still need to know how to be with yourself and enjoy your company and enjoy time alone. That's all part of being confident and an empowered woman. So here we go. First, you should begin small. Start with just a day trip to somewhere you are already familiar with. Yes, the first time can feel a little bit scary. Anything for the first time obviously is, but you will figure out as you go. When you do things this way, your confidence level increases. You know why? Because you put your decision-making skills to work for yourself. You got to figure things out for yourself, and by growing those decision-making skills, you become more efficient. Plus, traveling alone gives you a sense of freedom and independence that traveling with someone does not, and it's one of the most liberating feelings. Also, please remember your sense of safety is essential. I know something that might be holding you back from solo tripping is you might be thinking of all the things that might go wrong and feeling vulnerable, not having another person as your safety net, which takes me to tip number 2, and that's to go someplace you know is going to be populated and maybe even a hotspot for solo travelers, or that you've been to before, just not alone. Knowing you're in a familiar place and surrounded by other people doing the same thing opens up a world of possibilities and some peace of mind, knowing there are other people doing exactly what you're doing. And super important, ladies, okay? Remember to always let someone know where you are, someone you trust preferably, okay? Let them know your plan. How awesome to have the freedom and independence to travel where and how you want. The best part is the more you do it, the more confidence you'll build. Not just to travel alone, but in general, because traveling alone allows you to learn those problem-solving skills and become more confident in your everyday life. How many girls do you think will miss out on yet another summer adventure because they're waiting for someone to go with? I'm gonna guess a lot. Don't be one of them. Start living and enjoying your life and making yourself happy, and don't depend on someone else for that. Your challenge this week is to make your very own plan to take your first solo trip this summer if you are able to. Don't let another season go by not doing something that you want to do because you're waiting on someone else. You may end up waiting forever. Part of your challenge is to figure out why you want to take this trip. Is it somewhere you've wanted to go for a really long time, like maybe one of those bucket list items? Is it a place where you're gonna learn something, where you're gonna expand your knowledge of something, or is it a place you just want to go to explore and relax? Any of these are good enough reasons, and the best part is you don't have to consider anyone else's schedule but your own. Again, start small if you have a bit of fear of being alone for too long. An overnight or even weekend trip like Friday to Sunday is ideal for you to figure out if this is your thing or not. After you've taken on a short trip, you may find yourself loving the experience, and soon you'll be confident enough to go maybe a little bit further, maybe to another state or a country, and stay even longer. And part 2 of your challenge is figuring out where you want to stay. Lucky for you, there's this thing called Google, and you can look up where to stay, things to do, where to eat, and popular attractions. And make sure you have a plan by doing your research and scheduling something to do each day so it feels productive and worthwhile. You may also hear about places and must-see locations when you're there, so be open to adding that if possible. Traveling solo doesn't have to be all the things some people think it is. Lonely, sad, pathetic, scary, and whatever else you've heard. Be open to making this summer an adventure girl summer without waiting on anyone else. You got this. Let me know in the comments where you plan to travel solo to this summer. I would love to know. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications for all the latest content that's meant to empower you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go be confident.